well, howdy and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for our PD Coordinators webinar. I am Laura Greer and I'm going to be your facilitator, I think it is. We have this verbiage, host, facilitator, presenter. I'm going to run us through the slides today. And Krista is going to help with making sure that links get into the chat pod for everyone. So again, thank you for joining us, and I'm going to go ahead and move forward. On today's agenda, we will start with conferences, training, and statewide events. We will have announcements regarding what monthly webinar series, what monthly webinars we have coming up. We will have some assessment announcements from Tracy, well, no, on behalf of Tracy from Beth. We will have some PD portal announcements from Katie, and then Krista is going to wrap things up for us with PD coordinator time. We will start with conferences and statewide events. And Beth, I believe you've got the first slide here.
All right, thank you, Laura. Welcome, everyone. It's good to see you all virtually. First up, we want to make sure that you've got the TALE conference on your calendars. The pre-conference day for administrators is going to be February 10th, and then the conference itself is the 11th through the 13th. Registration is almost up and ready to go. They're waiting on a little bit of information for the pre-conference, so that should be up in the next couple of days. So just as an aside to that, normally we would have our PD coordinators webinar on February 11th, second Thursday of the month. Because that is during TALE, we have moved the PD coordinators webinar to the 18th. So I believe Krista sent an announcement out about that, but just as a reminder. And then next slide. And another statewide event that's happening tomorrow. So if you haven't signed up for this one, we still have space available. Maria Morrow with the AEL office at TWC is going to do an hour-and-a-half long session on employment outcomes. So I encourage everybody to join us for that. And that's just a reminder. We hope to see you there in the morning.
Howdy, everyone. This is Paula Bauer. I just wanted to recap our 2021 literacy symposiums, and I want to highlight a couple of conferences that we'll have so you can mark your calendars. The South Texas Literacy Symposium will be on February 20th, and the East Texas will be on February 27th. That's the last two Saturdays in February. And then South Plains will have their literacy symposium on April 24th. Followed by Gulf Coast on July 24th. All of these will be virtual events, free registration, and I just would love to encourage you guys to share with your partners that you collaborate that are community-based organizations or nonprofit AEL programs. These are some great PD sessions. Of course, anyone is welcome to just join in. Then we have our Literacy Texas 2021 conference, which actually will be face-to-face. That's over in the left-hand corner, August 2nd through August 4th. It'll be at the Sheraton DFW Airport, the hotel there. And then Pro Literacy is collaborating with Literacy Texas, and they will have their conference in Texas this year in San Antonio, September 19th through September 21st. Registration information for both of these conferences will be out shortly. And our final literacy symposium is the DFW Literacy Symposium, which is a collaboration effort between the Tarrant Literacy Coalition and Literacy Connexus. So it's a Friday, Saturday virtual event. If you want to know anything more or register for these symposiums, the link right here on the screen is where you would go. Literacy Texas has a new website. I encourage you to look at that as well. And that's it for me. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you, Paula. Good. Thank you for jumping in there. I lost my meeting control panel and couldn't unmute myself. So, all right, we are going to move next on to our monthly webinar series, and Liz is going to kick us off with some Manager Monday announcements.
Hello, everybody. And so the first one up that we have is coming up really soon. We have a session coming up from Ann Savino from the Texas Workforce Commission, and she's going to be highlighting IETs from policy to practice, where she's going to showcase the fundamentals of what the requirements are in developing a course, and then what the performance outcomes would look like. And then she's going to share some examples, plus the 10 best or the 10 most commonly asked questions at TWC. So look out for that one. Registration will be out soon. And then aside from that, on the next slide, we're going to show some of the topics that are coming up. I had asked you in the poll in our last PD coordinators webinar what you would like to learn more about. And so one of the agencies that will be coming up and presenting is Value USA, speaking about learner involvement and how you can involve your students in problem solving at the program level. And then we're also having Craig Wingerson speak on engaging your team. Through this pandemic, we're all having a hard time for many reasons on different levels. And one of the requests that you all had mentioned again last month was on teamwork. And so he's going to touch upon how we can work and connect with one another. And then on the next slide, we have the dates that are coming up. So you could pencil those in on your calendar. And if you have any requests, of course, you could always send those to me and I'll post my email in the chat. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Liz. Very nice. We have Krista next with some Teacher Tuesday announcements.
Hello again. So our next Teacher Tuesday will be February 9th, 2021. And this one is a second in the series about our POP reports. And this one is going to be POPs and MSGs for instructors, being led by Elena Madrid. And I think she's going to have a couple of extra speakers working with her on that as well. So join us for that one. Registration is available in the portal. Next slide is the next one will be March 9th, and it'll be MSG reports with Mahalia Baldini and Christine Long. And that one is not, do not think it's in the portal yet, but will be very soon.
Very good. Thank you, Krista. Olga, you are up next with some Workforce Wednesday announcements.
Why, thank you so much, Laura. The first announcement is for this January 20th. That's next Wednesday. We'll have Jennifer McNabb, and she's going to be presenting on social and emotional intelligence in corrections. This is part 1, and this is designing course content. So she's going to talk a little bit about that in terms of widespread recognition of skills that predict success in the workplace. So join us for that session. And then for February 17th, we'll have Victoria Hinojosa and Jasmine Grabowski return again to talk about social media part 2, and this will be the employer perspective. So join us in February for that. We'll have registration is not quite in the PD portal yet, but we're hoping to get it in there soon. And then our next month in March and April, please join in with Jennifer McNabb. We'll have her coming back. She'll do part 2 of the social and emotional intelligence in prison classroom and talking about ways to enhance teaching practice. And then again in April, student life pathways, contextualizing student learning and engagement. So join us for Workforce Wednesday. And then I just have the next slide, which has our dates for that in terms of pencil these in for January. So you'll have those available. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. I love that you guys put the list of dates in the webinars so that people can go ahead and pencil those in for the next couple of months. That's a great idea. We have Anne Marie next to talk about our upcoming Tech and Tells.
All right. Happy New Year, everyone. And thank you, Laura. We have several months of Tech and Tells I want to talk about here. So starting tomorrow, we have Claire Gillum coming back from the Literacy Council of Tyler. So excited that she is returning again to talk about a new digital tool. Well, it's not new, but excited to share this because we do not have a lot of writing, tech and tells on writing digital tools. And this is going to be quill.org. And tomorrow is part 1. And then the following Friday, January 22nd, will be part 2. There was a little bit of a glitch in the PD portal, but there is registration now available for January 22nd. So if you have sent out a blast to your teachers or want your teachers to attend part 1 and part 2, it is now available, okay? And with these 2-part webinars, I really do encourage teachers to attend both sessions, right? Either live or in the portal. So heads up on that. Both of these dates are in the PD portal. So let's go to February. And I am very excited to introduce Meryl Redfern from Dallas College that is going to be presenting for the first time on the Tech and Tell webinar series. And I realized that after all of the tools that we have in the Tech and Tell library, we do not have a Tech and Tell on Padlet. And so I'm crazy about Padlet. How many of you are? Let me know. Just, you know, raise your hand and let me know if you guys love Padlet. I know I do. The more I use it, the more I like it. So this is how this is going to work. She's going to be presenting on February 26th for part 1. And then in March, there's going to be a little bit of a gap there. She's going to be returning on March 12th to do part 2. Okay. Stay tuned for registration in the PD portal. So again, this is a part 1 and a part 2, and she will be a new presenter, but Meryl has a strong tech integration background. Okay, so let's go to March. And March is going to have our very own Ashley Winkle presenting on HyperDocs. And Ashley, when I'm done, jump in here if you think I've forgotten anything. And Ashley, several years ago, had done Tech and Tells on HyperDocs, but she is going to redo them, and there's going to be a little bit different focus. On March 5th, it's going to be HyperDocs for beginners. So this is going to be a webinar for teachers who have limited experience with HyperDocs. So thinking about the teachers that you may want to attend that one. And then March 26th, we have HyperDocs taking it to the next level, and that is going to be for your advanced users. So your teachers that are using HyperDocs or want to dig in a little bit more and really get in there and work with HyperDocs, okay? So they can take March 5th and then March 26th, or maybe completely different teachers that go to those. So Ashley, jump in here. Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think you did. Okay. I'm excited to do it though.
Yes, I'm excited. We got the party. Get this party started.
I'm excited, yes. All right.
All right, so last before we leave Tech and Tells, I just want to share too that actually there's going to be 3 Tech and Tells in March, right? So you've got Ashley and then you've got Meryl in the middle. So March has 3 Tech and Tell webinars. So stay tuned for that. Okay, thank you, Laura. Sorry about that. All right, and as always, we are on the search for webinar talent. And so you can contact us via our emails for the different webinar series. We value you. We value your recommendations, and that is actually how I found Meryl Redfern. She was a recommendation. So reach out to us with ideas. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Anne Marie. And I will piggyback off of something that Anne Marie said and reminded me. All of our webinars go through post-production. So if there is a scheduling conflict with any of these awesome webinars coming up and you can't make it, have no fear. We put everything through post-production, well, all of the webinar series. So Manager Monday, Workforce Wednesday, Teacher Tuesday, and Tech and Tells all automatically go through post-production and are available in the portal typically about 6 weeks after they take place live. So no worries if you can't make it to the live event. Krista, I'm going to pause here. Do we have anything that has come in? I closed my chat pod.
No, there has not. We've got the contact information. A lot of HyperDocs are amazing, and Ashley does a great job on HyperDocs. Denise said, love the idea of having this for beginners. So, yeah, we're good to go.
All right, very good. We're going to move forward then. And next up, we have assessment trainings. So again, this information is going to be presented by Beth on behalf of Tracy.
Thank you, Laura. So just a heads up, we have created a new survey and we need your input. We are working on planning assessment training for the spring and want to make sure that we are addressing your needs and the needs of your local program. So Krista has put the link to the survey in the chat, and we will send out an announcement over the listservs. But what we're trying to get at is what kind of tier 1 administrator training do you need? Do you need TABE? Do you need CASAS, Best Plus? Also, we need to see if we need to do another training of trainers. And then an additional question on this particular survey is, do we need to do a best literacy test booklet order or not? So we really very much appreciate your input here, and that will help us with our planning as we go through the spring. And we have set a deadline for that survey of January 20th. Next slide. So we wanted to make sure that you guys were familiar with this, speaking of TABE Online, the DRC Insight Device Readiness Tool. And again, we've put the link there in the chat. So this is a tool that you can send students to ahead of time before you get into a remote testing situation where they can check and make sure that the device that they are going to be using for testing passes all of the minimum criteria. So this might assist you when you're doing your assessments, that you don't get caught up in a lot of technical difficulties, that maybe using this tool can head that off ahead of time. So just something we wanted to share. And then I think there's one more. So just a reminder that we have the ProctorU informational webinar using ProctorU to proctor TABE Online on January 20th. That's next Wednesday at 11 o'clock. It'll go 11 to 12:30, so an hour and a half. And a lot of that will be based on how many questions that we get from the participants. This is the same webinar that we did back in December. So if you attended the first one, this is repeat information. You don't necessarily have to attend this one. So the other thing here is, if you have particular questions for TABE, for DRC, you can go ahead and send them ahead of time to Tracy Hendricks, and her email is there on the slide. And so she'll gather those and share them with DRC ahead of time, so we can make sure that we're answering all the questions that you have on ProctorU and remote testing. And I think that's all I had.
All right. There is a Marie Covert has her hand up. Marie, did you have a question?
No, you just said to raise your hand if we like Padlet.
Oh, okay. Very good. There were no other questions. Just a comment about the DRC device check is a great tool. So Tiffany Lee from Region 9 said that they send it in an email template when students are about to take the TABE locator. So that's kind of a really neat idea. Just have it already in an email set up. Any other questions at the moment?
While we're giving them a second of think time, I'll comment on the DRC device checker. I think that's really awesome because, again, you can take care of those tech issues before the test, and that alleviates any nerves that might come into play if you start to get frantic about your device isn't working. And so it alleviates all of that. So I think it's really great to be proactive with checking the devices before taking that test. All right, let's move forward. We have a couple more slides, and this time, next up, we have Katie with a few PD portal announcements.
Howdy, everyone. Happy 2021. So about our new courses. So due to the holiday season, we only have 3 new courses this month, but rest assured we have a lot, and I mean a lot coming up in the next couple of weeks. So just keep looking. The 3 we have ready right now: Manager Monday, the benefits of internship, the employer perspective; Tech Intel, stay organized and productive with live binders; and using North Star digital literacy for Texas AEL distance learning. And those are the 3 that we have ready for you. On the same note, we wanted to make sure that you are aware that we are cleaning up some of the courses in the PD portal. I feel like we do this periodically, a couple times a year. There are several courses being deactivated, I believe on Friday, tomorrow, January 15th. And I put the list there on the screen. Yes, I know it's really small, but I still wanted you to be able to see them if you could. If you can't see them, I can actually post the link to the COP where they're located. So I've actually put this information in December with the list of all the ones that we're deactivating. And I put it in the program management COP and also the PD coordinator COP. This is just to give you a heads up. These are our Tech Intel's, Workforce Wednesdays. I think we had a couple of Teacher Tuesdays and Manager Mondays. I will say though, after the last couple of days, we have started deactivating a couple of others that just were dated, and we are updating in the PD portal soon. So keep that in mind. I also put a message in there this earlier this morning with a couple others that will be deactivated. We are reaching out to anyone who has these on their transcript to go ahead and get them finished if they like. If not, they don't have to do anything. But we're trying to just kind of give everyone a heads up. And Marie said, post the link. Yes. And if you go to the COP, you can see the communication there from the last times I've posted in there, but I just put the link there in the chat pod for you. All right. Now, in the next few weeks, you will receive an email requesting feedback on your staff who are active in the PD portal. Please respond by the due date in the email, which right now is unknown. I'm hoping to get these reports out, let's say mid-February. I know some programs are still making some changes and additions, so I want to give you time to do that. Please encourage your staff members to log into the PD portal in the next couple of weeks just to stay active. What we do every now and then is we do a big, we deactivate several accounts who aren't logged in within X amount of time. So this is just our way of making sure that people who are in the PD portal are active. So I would just encourage them to get logged in, check things out. If you have any questions about the quarterly reports that will be coming out, feel free to email me and I can put my email in the chat pod. But again, when I send this out, I will give you all the information that you need. So just be on the lookout.
Very good. Thank you so much, Katie. Krista, have we had any questions or comments come in that we need to address?
Nope. Katie got the link for Marie Covert. That's all that came in.
All righty. In that case, it is your turn, Krista, for PD coordinator time.
Okay, excellent. So I just wanted to say I apologize for the bad link in the PD portal. Hopefully those of you that got in obviously got in, and hopefully we don't have anybody that's frustrated that wasn't able to get the link. So it is now January. And so if you could go to the next slide. And I know that May and June seem like a long way away, but they are not. So start thinking about where your staff is as far as getting their required PD hours by running your team staff roster, possibly your team staff development roster. Getting into the PD portal, their transcripts and active user reports, making sure that everything is lining up and that your staff has the PD hours that they need. This is a good time to work with your PD specialist to get any PD that's still lacking. We are here and available for assistance. We can help you with any of those reports, and Katie and Laura are always available for the PD portal reports. Something else that will be coming up soon is the PD follow-up plan. So your PD specialist will be looking at the PD plans, seeing what has been accomplished, what has still to be accomplished. And we can get these things set up and finish out really strong for all your staff. So any questions or comments about that? We are here to help.
Krista, this is Laura. I will throw out a reminder that if you are going to take advantage of any of the reports in the PD portal, the transcript report or the active user report, there are instructional PDFs on the PD coordinator's Wakelet that will help walk you through how to use those. So if you need to dust off your knowledge on how to use those reports in the portal, either Katie or Krista will put the link for the PD coordinator. Perfect. So the link for the Wakelet is there. That's a really great resource for using those portal reports.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yep.
And just also, I know a lot of PD coordinators are not in the monthly program calls, but the PD specialists are always on the monthly program calls. And we will be sharing information from the team staff roster and also for the PD plan. And that's normally the director, PD coordinator, and TWC program specialist. So, so again, we are getting prepared for the spring. All right, Laura, there's a question. What should we do if some of our staff does not appear on the transcript report? Is there a way for us to add them?
So if you have staff who are not showing up on your transcript report in the portal, email Katie and I at pdportal@tamu.edu, and we'll help look into that. It could be a number of reasons, but most likely it's a portal related reason, and we'll have to troubleshoot on the back end to make sure that they're showing up for you. So just email us. We'll get it cleaned up for you.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions about reports, PD portal, staff hours, PD requests, anything? This is your time. So please do not be shy to ask questions. You can unmute yourself or put it in the chat pod either way. I need the Jeopardy music.
It's so hard. Wait time is so hard.
I know. It's easier when I'm in the classroom and I can look at people's nonverbal. I can tell if they're thinking or not. But
yeah,
online, it's just like,
who knows?
The time just ticks. All right. I don't think we're going to have anything. Oh, Linda? Okay, good. Linda Ross, I was able to export a list of all available PD Portal training in the past. Unfortunately, I cannot find or don't remember how I did it.
Yes, so that is a report. We have somewhere in about the last year migrated from custom reports over to a new system in the portal called Reporting 2.0. And I honestly don't remember. Katie, help me out. Did the available PD Portal training report get transferred over?
Yes. So
It
that
did.
is,
Okay.
yeah, it's available. If you open up, click on that Wakelet, Linda, if you scroll maybe a third down, there's a whole section on how to use the reports and which one to use for exactly what you're looking for. But yes.
You are welcome, Linda. And if you cannot find it, or if it's just being clunky and troublesome for you, send us an email and we'll help you out.
Okay, excellent question. Anything else? Olga found the Jeopardy music. Thank you.
That's
I was going to ask who that was.
All right. All right. Well, since I'm not seeing anything else come in, again, you can always email me with any questions. And Beth reminded me about the date change, so ignore February 11th, do February 18th for our next PD coordinator meeting. And March 11th, April 8th, and May 13th is our future PD webinars. And that is it for me, Laura.
All right. Thank you so much. So if you have thought of any last minute questions and want to toss it in the chat pod, Krista or I will be happy to address it. But on that note, it was a short and compact webinar today, and we thank you for taking the time to join us this afternoon. We are always available to help you. You can email pdportal@tamu.edu, or you can email any of our team members directly. And I think at this point, most of the email addresses have gone into the chat pod at this point. But also if you email the portal, then we will always be able to forward it on to the proper team member. Within the notes on this slide say, oh my goodness, look at that. I did not update that slide. So cover up the bottom where it says our next meeting and cover up holiday greetings. And let's just say thank you from the T-Call team for joining us today. And if you have questions, concerns, comments, feedback, any of the above, email us and we'll get you taken care of. Thank you so much, everyone.
Take care. Have a great afternoon and a great rest of the week.